Gamers, all the Renegades footage has been released and all the content creators have been sharing their footage that they captured at the event, and I kind of wanted to give my feedback on what I've watched today. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, probably you have too, and shout out to all the creators that uploaded to give us this information. And I kind of wanted to share my insight on stuff because some people appreciate my opinion. The new exotics, I am not going to know the name of these, so we're just going to call it out by title. The Warlock exotic, that's probably the coolest one I've seen. The fact that you can suspend targets. It seems like the Warlock Threadling build, the Strand build, is definitely going to be favored. They showcased how much it can actually suspend, and the fact that one of the new exotic machine guns is going to work with it, probably going to synergize really well. Can't wait to try it out. The Hunter exotic. Not only did we think that this was just going to be a balding PvP exotic to where hunters can just run around with overshield, but as you see here in the perk, when you have an overshield for PvE, you're going to do 20% more damage. This will stack with Radiant. It's been tested, so the Hunter could have another damage rotation exotic in PvE while getting an overshield from that Titan banner shield, but we'll have to test it. Now we get to the Titan exotic. Again, I watched 3 different videos and they all said kind of the same thing. It's kind of meant for movement, but that's about it. Looks a little clunky. I hope it's cooler. Maybe pairing it with a eager edge sword. The fact that I can just be on line rampants and use a sword and skip a whole jump puzzle without even blinking, I feel like that's more easier. I really hope the Titan chest piece is fun. I really hope it's fun, but it did look kind of mid. So like I said, the exotic machine gun, this machine gun looks busted. It's going to be from the season pass. When you hit 90, you're going to be able to unlock the catalyst for it, and the catalyst makes it so that the little nests spawn threadlings and spawn tangles. If you guys love a tangle build or you love a threadling strand build, this machine gun is going to have good synergy. And also it's a healing machine gun as well, so it's like double perk. I always find stuff like this in the game cool when Bungie tries to incentivize you to use different things. Hey, try this out. We know it's a different playstyle, but try this weapon out. I think this machine gun will stand out. So now let's talk about the exotic crossbow. I think this drops from the new dungeon. I don't know why Bungie would show it. It's kind of cool to keep things a secret, but if this does drop from the dungeon, this crossbow does look sweet. So what this is, it's a normal crossbow, and what it's going to do is when you look through it, you're going to charge up the bar. As you see here, when you charge up the bar from looking down sights, it's going to do higher damage at different levels. Now you do have to be careful, because if you do 2 level 3 charge shots, it's going to be on like a cooldown. Like the weapon will have to overheat, so you'll have to chill for a second. So there might be a certain way for you to shoot this in a different order, like shoot a charge 1, then shoot a charge 3, then go back to a charge 1. Close quarters, the crossbow didn't look that good, just because if you're getting surrounded by enemies, you got to shoot real quick. But at distance, it does look like it packs a punch, so we'll be interested in that. Moving on to the Praxis blade, the lightsaber. I mean, this is what it's supposed to be, right? This thing is busted. It looks like it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to sync with the artifact. We'll get to the artifact in a little bit, but the artifact is based around swords and snipers. The fact that this Praxis blade can feed itself ammo pretty much because of the upgrades you get on it, it will literally just print ammo for you so you never run out. It is a kinetic and it will have special ammo, but this thing, just being able to block with it, it does work with strongholds. It will work with Banner of War. I really hope that there's a way for warlocks and hunters to enjoy it more with their kits and exotics, but again, when you got Titan that has all the cool stuff, this might be really nuts. Being able to block with strongholds and Banner of War, people are just going to meme this and have fun. Now, there is cool things that you can add to this, like different stones for colors, and you can also have cool things like Scorch, maybe Weaken, maybe Tangles. The creators weren't really able to show what those mods were, but there is some interchangeable mods on the bottom of the Praxis blade that you'll be able to customize it. So that's going to be your big focus here, which we knew when they launched the lightsaber, it was going to be a big hit. Now, I can't go over every single weapon because I think in total there was close to 40 weapons, new and returning weapons and dungeon weapons coming in Renegades. But I did watch Agies's video. He literally broke down every single weapon. I would suggest you guys go watch his videos. He's a speedrunner and he loves damage testing. He always kind of breaks down stuff. He goes over all the weapons. So the one cool thing about these weapons that are coming is the dynamic and the balanced heat frames. What he says in his video is that the dynamic frames are just better. They're going to just do more damage than any other weapon in the game. So pretty much this is Bungie's way of saying, hey, all that old stuff in your vault, do not use it and delete it, because we all know that the Edge of Fate weapons and the Ash and Iron pretty much power gapped all your vault weapons except a few fan favorites for PvE and PvP. But with the new weapons coming out in Renegades, they're really going to just destroy you. He does have most of the weapons on here. He might be missing a few, but the dungeon weapons, they have been shown in certain videos. I don't know why Bungie let the creators show the dungeon weapons. Nice to leave that stuff unshown, but there is 6 weapons, and I guess there is an eager edge sword, and there is a dynamic sniper. It's not kinetic, but it will probably be the best in slot, so we'll have to see it then. He does also show you that there's a sniper in the game, which is a kinetic, and it is like No Land Beyond, but it's doubling the damage pretty much. So now the things that he has highlighted, these are 3 weapons that stands out to him. So the Uncivil Discourse, it is a dynamic hand cannon. It's a 180, but it does about 3.4 times the amount of damage than any other hand cannon for the Hunter with Lucky Pants. You might want to get this. Lucky Pants Hunter is going to do some absurd damage with this weapon. Can't wait to see people farm it. So this hand cannon does have a lot of damage perks on it, but I think aggregate charge is going to be one of the best. It does have precision instrument too. Hunters, you're going to be eaten with your Lucky Pants builds. The next is the refurbished A499. This is the heavy sniper, and it pretty much is the version of No Land Beyond, but it does twice the amount of damage. So when this thing shoots, it's a single shot and it does twice the damage of No Land Beyond. And stack this with other perks on the artifact and other builds that we can run, this might be one of the highest damage non-exotic snipers in the game. And you can stack this with the Izanagi. I do want to show you something here as well. This is the Izanagi changes that are coming. Pretty much it's going back to the OG setting here where you can just hone it, shoot it, hone it, shoot it. They're reverting the changes to bring back Izanagi. So yeah, this thing's just gonna rip. And then finally, the PSI Eterna. This is the missile rocket pulse energy that is pretty much the mint in an energy slot, and it's going to be arc, but the perks are worse than mint. They knew better to give us a rewind rocket pulse rifle again. So the fact that this doesn't have rewind, it still has elemental honing, but you'll have to reload it more. Again, I think it'll still be a really good energy weapon. Also, I checked out CoolGuy's video. He pretty much broke down every single weapon that's coming in Renegades and showed some perk pulls in each row. So definitely go check out his video as he breaks down every single weapon, even some of the old ones that we haven't seen in a while, like Hawthorne's Field Forge Shotgun. Haven't seen that one. The Oxygen SR3, the Immortal SMG from Trials, Cataphract from Trials, the Riptide. I don't want to show any of the dungeon weapons on screen just because some people want to avoid that, but again, they're out there. And also, so these are the new armor sets that we know about so far coming in Renegades that you'll be farming in the Lawless Frontier, the Fireteam Ops, the Crucible, the Pinnacle Ops, Trials, and the dungeon ones on here, but I did blur it out. Some of these sets could be good. I'm not going to read every single one, but if you just want me to look down here, I thought this one stood out. A Pinnacle Ops 2-piece, damaging a target with a sword, glaive, or melee attack, exhaust them. And then the Fireteam Ops 2-piece, when your shields begin to regenerate, you gain flinch resistance and damage resistance for a short time. Pair that with Smoke Jumper and get more DR. So again, there's going to be some cool stuff to farm, and no wonder you're going to need all that vault space. So now we're going to talk about the Lawless Frontier game mode that they're adding. This is pretty much going to be Bungie's chance to get you to just grind this game mode. It seems like everyone's going to do the campaign, you're going to get the exotic and the portal activities. Now they're going to add 6-player activities to the portal, and they're going to add some rotating stuff in the portal. But remember, you guys hate the portal. You don't want to do the portal. I think a lot of people don't want to play the portal activities and don't want to do the same stuff that we've been bored of. So they're going to focus on the Lawless Frontier activity. This does look cool. Now there is factions. Yeah, that's right. There's 3 different factions. When you go into the social space, I forgot the name, but you could pledge with these factions, and there's going to be cool reputation rewards. As you see here, you're going to have to level up these factions to get reputation reward unlocks that you can actually use in the Lawless Frontier. you'll actually be able to get some upgrades on the PvE side and the PvP. And it seems like each faction has its bonuses weekly, and there is a shader. Now, here's where I'm kind of confused. If you guys don't know, the Nether healing effect is in this activity. You guys remember leveling up the slab for Nether? Bungie time gated us. They only let us hit so high so many weeks and kept time gating and time gated it, then dropped Parodiad. I'm not assuming this. I'm just praying that that doesn't happen again. Please do not time gate us and tell us that we can only level up so much. If we have to level up all 3 factions, because you're allowed to switch whenever you want to be able to get all the unlocks and the rewards, that might be a lot of playtime just in that Lawless Frontier activity. I hope there's replayability, because from the looks of it, you might be getting tier 5s right off the rip. So if you play for a few hours a day, by day 3, day 4, you might get the weapons you're looking for. If you gotta remember, tier 5s drop 3 perks in each column. It's very easy to get what you want. Now, if you're not achieving tier 5 gear yet, you got to work for it. I've seen in previous games that I've played over the years where a new seasonal activity comes out and they just want you to just live in there. I don't think the community wants to do that. This activity does look cool. There's a lot of cool things you could do. You know, I was watching Cross's video, and he was like, yo, you can summon all these vehicles and domes, and when you go invade, you like can use the ADSTs, I think they're called, and you're in the vehicles and you're trying to get the kills and get the gambling going, because that's what you do in like the invasion mode. You pretty much invade them while they're doing the 3-player activity, and you steal their res token, and also you're wagering stuff. So in the PvP version of this, when you click on invasion, you can wager some tokens. So if you go in and wager 3 tokens and you go in and get 3 kills, you get more loot. But don't think that you have to do this, because you can just do the PvE activity. From what I've seen from the videos today, you can simply just stay on the PvE mode if you like, but also switch it up and, you know, troll people. I just can't imagine not running truth, right? Buy the upgrade that gives you heavy, go in with a truth rocket, hit the tracking, call it a day. But overall, I think this activity is good for the game. They're trying to give us replayability, and I respect that. My only gripe is, why can't Bungie make their own idea? It does seem like they used a lot of Helldivers and other things. At the end of the activity, you kind of have to wait for an extract. Are they trying to get you prepped for a marathon? I know that was a joke, but you get where I'm saying with this. Like, Bungie's shown in the past that they can make really good content. I don't think they need to copy other games right now. They just need to, you know, hey, Menagerie, give us a rebrand of that with all new loot and all new weapons and new tokens. Menagerie killed it. The Forges, Reckoning, the list goes on. Yes, you will be seeing some upgrades like you've seen in Helldivers, but like I said, I just really hope that that is the replayability of that activity, because once people finish the campaign and they get the Praxis Blade unlocked and they get their juice, they're going to be hungry for more content. So hopefully we can grind that content out in the Lawless Frontier, and then the Tuesday after, December 9th, we're grinding out the Vanguard alerts, which those are like GMs, and then we got the dungeon on the 13th. I just want to see longevity for Renegades. I don't want to see it burn out after 3 weeks. Again, I've seen it happen before. So overall, I think we're going to enjoy this seasonal activity. It does look fun, and I can't wait to grind all the weapons. One last thing, and that is this artifact. It was posted in the TWID. Also, if you guys didn't notice, there is some trophies for the world's first, and you'll get this emblem if you watch Evan and CB on Dungeon Zone, December 13th. So yeah, we're definitely going to be fighting that dungeon day 1, getting that clear. And GG's to whoever's going to win the trophy. But let's talk about this artifact really quick. Again, I'm just going to kind of like scroll here so you can like look at it all, read it, maybe highlight something while it's paused, but I'm not going to read the whole thing just because that would take a little too long. So stuff that like kind of stands out to me, obviously we got anti-barrier hand cannon, anti-barrier sniper, overload pulse, overload submachine gun, unstop bow. But remember, you don't need to run any of that. You can always stun champions with radiant or other ways. I always tell people to open up your character screen and look what it says underneath the anti-barrier, the overload, and the unstop, because there's more ways to stun them just by using these mods. Fastest draw stands out to me. In the first shot shortly after reloading, readying your weapon is a precision hit. You gain flinch resistance. The new sniper is an Agies. Still hunt. There you go. Elemental Siphon. We've seen this before, but again, rapid final blows with a kinetic weapon or a weapon matching your super. It creates elemental pickups. It's really good for devour builds. And now we get into the crazy stuff, and this is where you'll see it just jump off the paper. Kinetic Synthesis. Sustained kinetic weapon damage and rapid final blows have a chance to generate a unique ammo brick. Collecting this brick will grant ammo to your equipped kinetic weapons and grant special and heavy ammo progress. This might be unlimited bricks from a boss. So if you keep shooting a boss with your kinetic weapon, hello, Izanagi and other stuff, you could keep feeding your bullets. You would just have to run up and get these bricks, but you could take time in between damage phases. You never know, but this seems really busted. Again, another boost to the snipers. Precision hits with bows and snipers grants a stacking bonus to their reload speed. Bungie's trying to tell us something here. They want us to use swords and snipers. Another cool one that I've seen that stood out to me was Power from Pain. Rapid final blows against weakened combatants grant you Devour. So again, if you're using a weakened weapon and you defeat the combatants, you could get Devour without using a Devour build. So that's just more DR that you can stack up or get ready for like a crazy ad clear phase. Dielectric, we've seen this before, but this is kind of, more crazier. Defeating arc debuff targets grants bolt charge. Rapidly defeating arc debuff targets spawns an orb of power and heals you. Could be really cool. Armor Smith, picking a combatant shield temporarily grants you damage resistance and increased melee damage. That's going to be really good for the sword. So again, another sword buff. Argent Blade is back, so you can stack this with stuff like Lucent Blade. Briefly pause after executing a light attack, then follow it up with a light or a heavy attack to empower your sword for a short time, granting it bonus damage and charge rate. So pretty much you can still do the old combo like 3 lights and a heavy, but this artifact mod opens up opportunity for you to try different combos like 1 light, 1 heavy, or 2 lights, 1 heavy. Kind of just have to test this out more, but it is a really good buff. Warlocks, you're going to enjoy this one. Singularity Blade, while you have a void elemental buff, Devour, melee and sword hits weaken targets, while melee and sword final blows create a weakening burst. So pretty much you're going to have Winter's Guile on with the Cha-Cha Slide build, and you're going to get the Fell Winner's buff that the helmet has. That is insane. Also, Titans could probably eat from this too with the shield throw. Kinetic Rupture, this one looks insane. Kinetic weapon damage against a powerful combatant, a boss, has a chance to create a kinetic rupture. So it's going to create like a ball to shoot. It could either be in the front, the sides. If Agies said that sometimes it went behind the boss, that could be really annoying, so you'd probably lose out on this. But targeting this rupture causes a damaging explosion that staggers combatants. So what this is that if 3 people are sniping a boss and a rupture spawns, 1 person should stop shooting the boss and shoot that rupture. What it does is that it 2x's the damage. So if you Izanagi hone shot the rupture, it's going to 2x that damage into the boss. Sniper Meditation, we knew this was coming back. It hit grants stacking sniper rifle damage, stability, and reload bonuses for a short time. Heavy ammo sniper rifle hits count more than 1 hit. So this is pretty much made for you to use, Izanagi Still Hunt, the new snipers, and the heavy sniper. And you've probably seen in some of the videos where people were using the lightsaber and they had like these blades forming around it. This is what the sword storm combo is. When you perform 3 sword light attacks followed by a heavy, it's sunburn. When you perform 3 sword light attacks followed by a heavy attack, it summons a penumbral blade that summons around you and does damage and disorients combatants. Sword final blows extend the duration of these penumbral blades. So yeah, it's pretty insane, and the damage is cracked. So again, more ways to use that lightsaber. And I thought this one was good. I don't know how good it's going to be, but Void Infestation, defeating a weakened target spawns a tracking projectile that weakens other targets. That could be really cool. Get your snipers and swords ready and enjoy collecting all these other weapons. No stream from me until Renegades, but I might show up Monday night. Just want to clear that up. I do get home on Monday around 4 p.m. So I might just sneak in a little stream on Monday night for a few hours. So if I don't see you guys until Monday night, which would be the 1st, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys next week.